All right, what's going on, guys? We're back here live again, yet again, to talk about some interesting things. The title is You're Doing Outreach on the Wrong Platforms. And truthfully, I was doing outreach on the wrong platforms, to be honest with you. And so it's like, we got to stop sending messages on the wrong apps. And so I do have a whole slideshow with all this information that I'm about to go through. We actually got, let's see, we have the beginnings. This is another series, if you will. We have we have about 16 slides, if you will. Two of those slides, three of those slides is one is the intro and one's overview and the other one's a recap. So like basically we have 14, 13 slides to go through. So that means for the next 2 weeks, this is probably what we're about to go through right here. And so with that being said, let's just give you an overview of what we're talking about. And so what we're talking about is specifically doing outreach on the wrong platforms, right? And so this is getting into the making money online, a complete beginner's guide to making money online through outreach, skills, and simple systems. Remember, in the past, I told you to keep it simple. And so if we're not keeping it simple, it's complicated, right? So I keep it simple where it's like, okay, here I could just boom show up online. I could fucking walk around, take you anywhere that I want to go, walk around with you all over the place, keeping it simple, right? And so the the objective is always to keep it simple, because for the most part, when we overcomplicate things, that's when things don't end up working out. But so let's get into it. So what we're going to be discussing is here's the what you could expect for the next these next couple of days, which actually is only 8 different things, so practically a week. Oh, my nose. That's how I prevent myself from sneezing. So this is actual module 6 specifically. I know we've been hopping around all over the place in this specific course I have, which you can find that somewhere, but we'll discuss that later. Um, so this is an overview of these next couple of days, right? Before we get into the outreach stuff. And so, what platforms should I do outreach on? What can one client do for me? How to make money online with social media marketing? How to make money with graphic design? What is marketing? What is sales? What is onboarding? Low ticket versus high ticket, which one is better? And a recap. And so again, we'll get into all those in detail. Let's just get straight into it. So I'm gonna give you some secret sauce. Scoby towards the end. This is some secret sauce that I gave to one of my clients that I went through. I don't know if I'm still offering this, but maybe I am. Um, if you can find the link, it's still available. But so it's a 5 day tiny challenge, which actually I learned from this book right here. Um, this book is from Richmond, right? Tiny challenges. So if you want to learn more, just look at the book. I'm gonna just give you a basic overview of what's going on. So in tiny challenges, you basically have 5 days, 1 hour days with a person, and then the first day is you figuring out what they got going on. The next couple of days is you creating a plan based on what they want to get out the 5 days, if you will. And then after that, you get into the fifth day is more so recapping and doing an offer or something. Fourth day is like really doing an offer. But anyways, with this 5 day tiny challenge, I turn basically all those into full blown courses because the value that's in them is invaluable, and they're all different stories, right? So one person was a bookkeeper. Um, they came to find out that bookkeeping isn't like the path for their enjoyment, if you will. So then they not only figured out a path of how to achieve their goal with bookkeeping, but they also found out that, oh, this is not the right path for me. So it's a double sided thing. Anyways, all that happened was outreaching on a social media platform. Which one specifically? I do have a list of a couple of them right here, right? But so that happened specifically on school. And let me tell you why that happened. The specific platform at the time that I was looking to grow was school. So what did I do? I outreached to people on that specific platform because it's the lowest hanging fruit, if you will. They're familiar with the platform. They know how the mechanics work. They probably have a card on file with the platform as well, and so it's a win-win. So if I could find somebody, provide them with enough value, then in return, they'll buy something from me, right? And so that's what happened with this person is they were facing a problem, and so I saw that problem for them, educated them a little bit, and that was maybe like an hour or so of time, and then eventually that led to them giving me some money to join the community, and they also hopped into one of the tiny challenges from just that one moment. So it's like that outreach was specific for school, right? So what platform should you outreach on? Well, the platform that you're looking to grow. Like it's like if you're trying to grow Instagram and you're doing outreach on LinkedIn, what are you doing? Like that doesn't make sense. You want to grow the platform that you're on. So whether that's YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, or X, Facebook, Snapchat, TikTok, school, what have you, right? Now, the other platforms that are not really talked about is Upwork. Upwork is a platform for online freelancers, and it connects freelancers with businesses and meshes those two together. So there's two sides of it. And so there's people out there literally saying, "Hey, I have money. I want to pay for this service." They already have their hand raised, so they're the lowest hanging fruit to like grab those. Like why aren't we doing that? Or why wasn't I doing that? I was looking for people on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Instagram, but these people didn't have their hand raised, right? I was working on wholesaling houses at one point in my life. And so when I was working at, or the beginning when I was doing wholesaling, I was pulling a list, calling that list, and going through those numbers. I had a couple people say yes and whatnot, but that took a long time, right? And it was because I had to call this list of people. Well, why was it different the second time around? I learned I need to find where people are already raising their hands. Well, simply enough, where are people raising their hands already? On anywhere where houses are being sold. So Zillow, Realtor.com is the perfect place as a wholesaler to find properties. And if they're under market, undervalued on there, perfect. And guess what? When you call them, it's not like, "Hey, fuck you, asshole, for interrupting my day." It's more so like, "Hey, like, what do you need to know about the property? This, and that." So it's like super easy, right? It's easy mode. And that's because I switched my outreach. And that's why it became so much easier to put deals together because everybody wanted to talk because their job was to sell the deal, period. And everybody was raising their hand. Like there's hundreds of thousands, if not, I'm sure millions of houses for sale on the market. And so it's like, if there's that many houses with people saying like this, why am I going to, again, by creating your own list, it's like, yes, it's better because nobody has your list now, and you're doing outreach on people who are not on market, so they're getting calls all the time. So it's like there's a caveat. There's a lot of people calling them, versus over here there might be a lot of people calling them, but they're not interested yet, right? And so you gotta pull that information out of them. All right, so here's the secret sauce. But before I tell you that, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. And let me know what I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong, what I could do better, any questions you have. Right? Criticism is always something that I love because even negative criticism, all of it is used to help me. Right? And so you can pick and choose your battles of like, okay, like this nigga saying some bullshit, but also this half is really true. He wants me to do better. Great. Um, so, secret sauce. All right. Based on this is from my experience, right? Based on what I know, if people are having their hand raised for the services, they're more likely to grab the services, right? So, this is going to any job posting in general, right? So now it's like, okay, what if you're, I don't know, we'll do a random example. A dealership. A dealership has an ad to hire salesmen. and you have some software that helps them with that situation. It's like, okay, hey, I got a software, an AI agent that calls, your leads and stuff like that, so that you don't have to worry about them. The salesman only deals with, the customer when they come in person, and then they guide them through the transaction and whatnot. That would be pretty helpful, right? And so it's like, but you're just cold reaching, right? But if they're looking to hire a salesman, which it's a bad example because salesmen are free, basically. And so if it was a paid job, or let's say a receptionist, if you will, it's like, boom, this now you have an AI receptionist that liaisons all the stuff where it needs to go, because that's simple. You need sales, okay, salesman, here's this. You need manager, okay, manager, here's this. And you could set it up and sure to have them pre-qualify the person and whatnot. So now when they go to the next person, they're qualified, like all the information that you need to have and stuff like that. Now it's really just understanding how to bring them in, basically. And so that will be a tremendous help. And universally, any business, like, having a receptionist, even if you're a one-man band, so having a receptionist makes you look so much more professional, if you will. It's like, okay, yeah, call my assistant. It's like, damn, this nigga what? He has an assistant? That's fire as fuck, right? So it's like, again, levels to the shit, but they all need to know your assistant is an AI assistant, right? It's basically, they don't exist, right? But it adds that level of prestige, if you will, in your business for that example. So that's why that could be valuable for somebody else. Now, so again, the reason why I say any job posting is because, okay, what about bookkeepers, right? If you need bookkeeping services, you're usually paying about like 60 grand or something like that. Well, what if I slide in with a $1,500 service? It's like, well, I'd save you 60 grand payroll taxes, because you know that if you didn't know this, most employers have to pay, all really have to pay a 15% employee tax. So they're getting taxed by hiring you, basically. So if you didn't know that, it costs them money to even like have you in their business. So because of that, it's like you save them on that cost. What about the benefits, right? You got health, medical insurance. You have maybe they match your 401k, all that stuff. Well, guess what? If you hire me, $1,500, you don't have to worry about none of that, and I'm basically 2/3 cheaper than hiring anybody else. It's very enticing if you do, again, the same, if not higher quality work. And so it's like looking for people where they're looking for people, if you will, is like the golden nugget. So it's like if you're okay, you're trying to get clients for this bookkeeping stuff, but you're on Facebook, you're on Instagram, you're on LinkedIn, you're on X, you're on Snapchat, you're on all these different platforms. Well, you have to literally convert them from out them there. It's magic, right? You have to just like hopefully when you cold DM them, it's something that they're looking for. If not, you gotta have to, make conversation, if you will, and build an actual relationship, which you should be doing anyways. But sometimes subjectives are different, right? And so go from there to now it's like, okay, let me switch to people who are looking to hire this specific role. Then it's like, shit, how many bookkeeping jobs are out there? A lot. Like there's a lot of bookkeeping jobs. So if you literally type in into Indeed, Monster.com, like any of these like job posting sites, then you look up for like the specific stuff that you provide services for. And this is again universal in any realm. Let's just take it to tech right now. All right, you're a cybersecurity specialist. Okay, well, there's SOC analysts, there's all these specific tiers, right? But it's like, what if you become a small business owner and you have a contract with this business owner instead of a W-2 contract? You switch it. That's a big difference now. It's like, okay, you got a W-2 contract. It's like, okay, there's no write-offs, but you switch it and you create it as just a regular contract, a 1099 contract, if you will. Now that becomes a business. And so like you could write off a lot more. Maybe you could even make a lot more because again, you don't have to do all the medical benefits and all the other bonuses and stuff. The payroll taxes is or the employee tax is slightly different because you're an independent contractor now. You're not in my business, right? Necessarily. So it's like I'm outsourcing, right? And so because of this, it's something that's very attractive for multiple fields. But again, you could do this universally throughout all different avenues. So based on what your skills are, you go ahead and you look it up as if you want to get hired for a job, doing whatever, baker, you know. Of course, baker is kind of hard to like do it remotely, right? But it's like all these different services. You look them up in job form, and then those are the people you apply to, if you will. But instead of applying to them, you could use this software. It's called Loom. I don't necessarily use Loom anymore because I found other softwares that do the same thing. So you could use free softwares or like, and we'll get into softwares later. But Google Meet is a free software. You use that, and you could just instantly share your screen, and it has your face on there. So good to go on that, right? And then you just walk through like, hey, like I see your ad, boom, right here on the screen, right? You leave it right there on the screen. I see your ad. I do bookkeeping services. I've been here for like 15 years doing bookkeeping services. Even the CEO of companies come to me to ask me questions because they're not well versed um in their experiences like I am when it comes to bookkeeping. And it's like, based on what I see here, this is what I could provide you, blah, 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 and call it a day, right? If you're doing website services, same thing. Like, you boom, like, what it's even easier because, again, people are going to be like, hey, I need a website, yada, yada, yada. Well, if you pre-build a website, it doesn't have to be like anything spectacular. It's just fill in the blank. Like, if you have a template, you just fill in the blank and be like, hey, like, I created a mock website just based off of like what I saw real quick. And here it is. That could literally take you 15 minutes to do that. And so becoming different, that's basically what you're doing. And so every applicant is going to be the same. Not only did you provide them a video of what you're doing, but you probably helped them in some type of way within your video, gave them value in some type of way, ideally, right? And so that's why that's like my super secret sniper tip is any job posting, like look for where your people are at. You need houses. Okay, real estate agents, they have the houses that you need. You don't have to go out and like knock on everybody's door and be like, hey, house, you want to sell it? Hey, you want to sell your house? Hey, you want to sell your house? There's a lot of doors being closed. But if you literally pick up the phone, probably out of the 10 houses that you call, like definitely multiple people are going to pick up that phone to see what you got going on, what information you need and stuff like that. And so it's like it's super super powerful looking at where people are already at and raise their hand for what services you provide already. So it's like, again, real estate agents, all right, flipping houses. If you're fixing and flipping, if you're wholesaling, if you're buying for long-term holds, boom, that's all you have to do. You don't have to do like much else. And it's like, imagine getting an agent on your side and they're just looking for shit for you now, and you don't even have to do shit. They just come to you and like, hey, here's this opportunity. Same thing with a recruiter. If you get buddy with the recruiter, they could send you some referrals and stuff your way. And so it's like there's multiple people that in your specific industry, there's somebody that will refer you business because it's not something they handle. And so if you become buddy with them, then that's how you're able to create a massive lead flow through that outreach. And most people think it's one specific platform that's the platform that you need to use. And it's like, no, it's like there's a lot of different platforms that you can use, right? Ideally, you push out to all of them. Email is a platform as well. So you pull out into all these different realms, if you will. And ideally, if you blast them all, and you could do that for a consistent period of time, 100 days, like, or forever, it's like you'll get results faster. If you choose one avenue and you become good at that, it's like you'll still get results as well. But focus in on who are the target people that either are referrals or the target people that like they're hiring for your stuff. And so if you blend those two in, it's like editing universally, any business. And it's like video editing is something that they need if they're doing content of some sort. And so it's like if they're doing the editing, that's taking them away from their business. So again, it's very universal. The outreach is based on who, where, and and like it's basically who you want to target, right? It's like who you targeting. Are they a younger crowd? Okay, maybe they'll be more so on Snapchat, more so on Instagram, maybe. If they're a bit older, it's like a lot of people are on Facebook, right? If it's more, you want to build these, CPA connections, if you will, or for your bookkeeping business, or anybody who refers you, it's like, okay, LinkedIn. Just, start making conversations, reaching out, making connections with these specific people. And it's like that will help you tremendously. And universally, I'm gonna give you something that I should give you with this, but it's like in a business, for example, imagine I needed to hire 40 salespeople. How the fuck am I gonna do that by myself? Well, there's one specific person. If I hire this one person, I literally don't have to worry about a fucking thing. I don't have to think about it no more. I have to just focus on this one hire instead of these 40 hires. That's what you're doing basically with targeting on the platform specifically. And for this example, it's like I would target recruiters because I would want to hire a recruiter because a recruiter will recruit everybody I need. And they already have like the systems they've been hiring for, probably 5 years plus. And so it's like they already have the systems in place to hire all these people. I don't. So why not just grab them? Hey, I need this many people. Can you help me with that? Cool. And of course, you got to pay them, no doubt. But so it's like having something set up like that. It's like, again, universally in just regular base form of you out to people, right? It works for hiring, for your leads. It works universally. And remember, in business, there's two ends, right? You have the customer facing end, and then you have the employee facing end. And so that's hiring, right? If you notice on a lot of, if you go to AutoZone, for example, AutoZone would say, it has a 5-digit number. It's like text, blanked for hiring or whatever, because you always got to keep both doors open so that when somebody drops off, which inevitably somebody's going to drop off, and it's like, okay, I have this list of all these applications that I could just call up real quick and fill the spot in instantly, right? Versus somebody who's just focusing on leads. Like if they're just focusing on the lead flow of stuff and now the hiring stuff, when somebody leaves, their system is broken. And now they have to go back on this side. And so guess what? Money stops because money is here. Now you got to go over here and fix this problem, right? And so it's like to avoid that, you got to just be smart with who you specifically target, and it works universally. Again, if you like this video, my name is Emmanuel Velasco, because I never said that this whole time. And sometimes I have some information that might be golden nuggets for some people. For me, it's just regular information pretty much, because it's like this is my normal life. And so if you enjoyed this video, again, like I said before, like, comment, share, and subscribe. I do this every day at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time ish, because sometimes we're a minute late or so based on technology sometimes. But we're getting better at that. We've been showing up consistently now for over, I want to say, 30 days. So we're practically here to stay at this point. It's become a habit. It's not an official habit, but it has become a ritual, if you will. So show up for the ritual. I felt that was the right move. Show up for the ritual every day at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you're interested in learning more, talking about it more, just click the link in the description box below. It is paid, so you're going to have to pay for the access. But when you pay for the access, you'll have a better time. Anyways, I'll see you guys on the next video, which is tomorrow at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Peace.